Hey everybody, it is Glenn with RocketCityHomes.com and thought we'd take a look at some of the market stats for the Huntsville area. But before we do that, I mentioned last month that I think this Mortgage News Daily is a great place to take a look at information about obviously mortgage rates. You can find some information about housing data as far as permits, how many new houses were started. You can look at a whole bunch of statistics there. But looking at interest rates today, 30-year fixed sitting at 6.29, off from a 52-week high of 7.37, so that's great. We're starting to head in this downward trend. Hopefully that continues. 15-year fixed is at 5.75. 30-year jumbo is at 5.75. The 5/1 ARM is sitting at 5.99, and the 30-year FHA is 5.75, and the 30-year VA is sitting at 5.80. Another benefit of this website is that if you're not sure what program that you may use, if you're thinking of a couple of different ones, you can put in the loan amount, and then it'll give you your principal and interest payment for those loans based on the interest rate. So that's kind of a cool part. Taking a look over here at the Huntsville area, we look at Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur. First thing, we're going to look at the median sales price. And if we look over here for November, Huntsville median sales price $310,000. Madison was $354,790. Athens was $312,625, and then Decatur was $245,750. I think probably the most glaring thing on here is just this dramatic drop that we saw in Madison from 420 back in July to this 354. I think a lot of that, or at least part of that, had to do with when the market conditions were just so crazy here, like they were in so many other areas for the last 18 months. Madison was a pretty desirable area for a lot of people. Some people pick it just because of the features of homes. Some people pick it because of the schools that are here. So it just really made it very competitive. And so folks were paying well above list priced for homes. And they were doing that in all our areas, but specifically Madison, it seemed like that was exponentially higher. So I don't think that we'll see this drop too much more. I do think we're going to kind of see this mellow out, and then we'll get our regular increase appreciation. Interestingly enough, you look over the last 12 months, Huntsville has had an 8.8% appreciation, 5.6, 4.6, and then Decatur at 25.4. That's a big number compared to where they were a year ago. But overall, I think we're going to start to see more of typical appreciation and not the craziness that we've had for the last couple of years. New listings, so basically it's kind of like the last 30 days, how many new homes or new to the market, I should say, homes have come on. Pretty big drop off except for Decatur. They added a few. This does not surprise me at all. This is typical kind of a cyclic thing. Typically, we have kind of falls off during the holiday season. Obviously, there's still some homes that will come on the market, but generally less. But compared to a year ago, we're down 70% in Huntsville, 7.9 in Madison, 26%, 0.2 over here in Athens, and then 10%. So there's fewer homes than there were 12 months ago that were new on the market over that same time period. Total number of homes for sale, though, overall, we're sitting here in Huntsville. There's 518, 351 in Madison, 343 in Athens, and 135 in Decatur. This is a very interesting to me. Athens is quite a bit smaller, but is definitely an area that's growing. A lot of new homes going up over in Athens. So it's just interesting to see how these numbers are getting very close together. Definitely more homes on the market compared to a year ago, 75% more over in Madison. There's 73% more, 154% over in Athens. Again, huge numbers, a lot of building going on over there. And then 53% over in Decatur. Days on market. I mentioned last time we did a stats video, that I know what the stats say, but it kind of feels like homes are definitely staying on the market a little bit longer. And I'm going to say the same thing. I still think homes are staying on the market longer than kind of what we're seeing here. Decatur's coming in at 15 days, Huntsville's at 5, Madison at 5, and also in Athens at 7. But homes are staying on there, it feels like, longer. I can tell you for our buyers, because the homes are staying on a little bit longer and there's certainly more homes to look at, the pressure is definitely off of buyers to having to see things immediately. We're usually taking a look. We'll find 2 or 3 homes that we want to go look at. We're able to look at them. Jodi and I are able to do our due diligence as far as the research goes for pricing. We're not having to do, and I mentioned this last month, these crazy escalation clauses anymore. Sellers are paying part of closing again. Sellers are definitely making repairs, and we're not waiving inspections or appraisals. So those are good things. We haven't asked for home warranties yet. I think we probably could, and because they don't really cost that much money, I think sellers would be willing to do that for the most part. Home warranties, it's a mixed bag. I mean, if you can get a seller to buy on to provide your buyer a home warranty, that's great. They're not perfect, but if it provides any assistance on a repair, that's always good to have. So we think we'll probably start using those soon again. When we look at the inventory as far as the number of months of supply, when we've talked about this before, remember the month of supply is basically just saying that if not one more house came on the market, how much inventory do we have? How long would it take to get all those homes sold? In Huntsville, it looks like it would take about 1.9 months. In Madison, 2.3. Athens would be 3.5. And then Decatur 1.7. This 3.5, to me, that's a balanced market. Anything above 3 months, it's not a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. It's a balanced market. So you've got to kind of work together, buyers and sellers, to get everybody to a happy place, which I don't think is bad. I mean, obviously, buyers want it to be a buyer's market. Sellers want it to be a seller's market. But it makes it a little bit more doable when it's more in a balanced market. And I think that this will continue. This will trend up for over the next several months. The last thing we'll just kind of take a look at is price per square foot. For the last 2.5 years, that thing has been, or 2 years, I should say, that number was just going up exponentially. Now it's starting to kind of mellow out, flatten out a little bit. We can see over here that in Huntsville, the price per square foot averages $157. Madison, it's $168. $160 over in Athens and $128 in Decatur. Looking at percentage-wise, that's an 11.3% increase over last year, 12% in Madison, 8.8 and 8.5 in Decatur. Again, I think we'll start to see that continue to go up. I don't see it really coming down, but based on what's going on now, I think we'll just kind of see a slow progression. So that's it. Market's definitely changing. Markets are definitely slowing down here. Obviously, interest rates have a lot to do with that. But I think from that, in the beginning, when we saw interest rates are starting to slide back down, and hopefully we can get that closer to about a 5.5%. So what are your thoughts? What do you think the market's going to do? Jodi and I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or if there's anything we can help you out with, please let us know. Have a great, great Christmas.